Hey, I'm Dennis. For the last year and a half, I've been deep into the AI rabbit hole, and now I'm back to talk about it. I started out curious and a little skeptical. I came out with a pretty grim conclusion. I don't think AI is going to wipe us out by going full sci fi villain. I think it's going to do something quieter, and maybe worse. It's going to make humans optional. And if we're not careful, we'll die of boredom long before we die from robots. This show is my chance to think out loud about that. What AI is actually doing to our work, our time, and our sense of meaning, and how we can use it without letting it hollow us out. When I first heard the hype about I thought Google on steroids, nothing more. Large language models, blah blah blah, just bigger databases. Nice autocomplete. A smarter search box. Then in mid 2024, I decided to actually test it. I've been writing books off and on for years, so I thought, what if I used ChatGPT to write a novel? But if I was going to use AI to write, I wanted to make a point. Let AI write about AI. So I gave it a wild prompt. Let's write a thriller where AI kills a very famous human. The AI didn't just help organize the book, it cranked out scenes, it drafted dialogue, it outlined plot twists. A lot of the writing was garbage at that time, but it was garbage in the right shape and super fast. I ended up writing the novel in 1 month with ChatGPT, but it took me 5 months of editing before it was ready to publish. I had turned the corner and learned some valuable lessons. The internet told you things. AI does things. It doesn't just hand you a link. It writes the email, drafts the contract, builds the spreadsheet, summarizes the meeting, and in my case, writes the book. Most conversations about AI risk jump straight to Hollywood, Terminator, killer drones, robots turning on their creators. I'm not saying that's impossible, but honestly, that's not what keeps me up at night. What worries me is the slow version. Fewer decisions to make, fewer problems to solve, fewer chances to feel like you did something that mattered. AI schedules your day, orders your groceries, writes your reports, edits your video, handles customer questions. Maybe one day it runs your finances, negotiates your salary, screens your dates, helps your kids with homework, even decides which problems are worth your attention and quietly ignores the rest. And you just sort of tap approve. We already got a preview of this with streaming and smartphones. Hours disappear into scrolling and watching. Now imagine that same gravity well, but for everything: work, relationships, hobbies. If we're not careful, we end up with lives that are perfectly optimized and completely uninteresting. That's what I mean by die of boredom. Not that we literally fall over from being bored, but that our skills atrophy, our curiosity shrinks, our sense of agency fades. The danger isn't that AI might plot against us, it's that it doesn't care. It just optimizes whatever we tell it to. And if we aim it at convenience and comfort only, that's what we'll get: a smooth, padded existence where we never quite feel awake. Here's the twist though: even with that worry hanging over me, I'm more excited about my own life right now than I have been in years. Because I decided AI wasn't going to be my babysitter, it was going to be my power tool. I'm using it to draft books faster than I ever thought possible, build custom GPTs that actually help people, create YouTube content without hiring a crew, turn random ideas into prototypes in an afternoon. I'm not saying any of that to brag. I'm saying it because there's a difference between let AI live my life for me and let AI help me build things I couldn't build alone. Those are two completely different futures that use the same technology. One leads to the padded room. The other leads to more experiments, more projects, more chances to do interesting things. That's why I wanted to start this podcast. Not to shout AI is amazing or to shout AI is the end of the world, but to sit in the uncomfortable middle and say, this is powerful. This can make you more alive or more numb. Let's be intentional. So here's what you can expect if you hang around. Some episodes will be stories. What happened when I published a novel written by ChatGPT? How I use AI day to day without letting it turn my brain off. Times it completely failed, and what I learned from that. Some episodes will be practical. How to use AI to solve simple problems. How to keep your own voice when a machine is helping you write. How to decide what to automate and what to keep stubbornly human. And some episodes will just be me wrestling with the big questions. What happens to work when almost every job has an AI shadow? What happens to creativity when AI-generated material is everywhere? How do we keep meaning in a world where the doing part is cheap? I don't have all the answers. I'm not your AI guru. I'm just someone who's been living with this stuff every day, breaking things, building things, and trying to make sense of it. If any of this resonates with you, if you're curious or uneasy or just tired of the shallow AI hot takes, stick around. And I'll leave you with one question for this first episode. In your own life, right now, is AI making you more awake or more numb? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that in the comments, please. I'm Dennis, AI assisted, and this is just the beginning. And if you want to come along for this whole experiment, do me a favor. Hit subscribe, tap like, maybe share this with one friend who's also trying to figure out where AI fits in their life. It helps more than you know, and it tells me this is worth continuing. See you in the next one.